to have you here for 15 more minutes before the break. It won't be too long, I promise. So what we're going to do now is going to be a short presentation of the Schwarzman's Scholars. It's a 2-1 master degree, a master's in global affairs. It's a master that focuses a lot on leadership, and it's a program that invites scholars from all around the world. They have a wide diversity of students. So I'll be giving the mic to Mr. Folk, Director of Global Admissions, and Mr. Pan, Executive Lead.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you, everyone. And good afternoon. And good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Yeah, good, very good. And I love to talk to you much better than talk to your parents. And it's my age, I'm too old. I graduated back to the 1985, and oh shit. I'm older than that, so okay, and working and studying in Tsinghua for 30 years. And now it's working the Schwarzman College, the program, and that's founded 10 years ago, April 21st, 2013. That day, the first day, is the Schwarzman College. That day, President Obama and President Xi Jinping sent two letters. And 2016, September 10th, the President Xi Jinping and the President Obama sent another 2 letters to give the greeting for this program. 2 largest countries, the president sent 2 letters 2 times to the one program. Never happened in the world. I don't think it will happen in the future before I die. So, and you probably will say, but I cannot say that. So why this? Why this? Because we need the communication. We need the communication. We need to learn each other. We need the mutual understanding each other. And what the program looks like. And our colleague, my friend, our global director for global admissions, and Professor Caudell Folk will give you detailed explanation and give you detailed presentation. And please keep very good relationship with him. And no matter you are young, so he will retire long time later. So you have keep good relationship with him. And there's a very key person, number 1 person. If you want to lead the leadership and find out the key things, key persons. Okay, I pass the floor to our
Talk a little bit about the program today. I want to talk about the founding vision of the program. I want to talk about the application, and I want to talk about what we're looking for when folks are applying to the Schwarzman Scholars Program. We're going to save some time so you guys can ask us questions after we do our presentation today, because we know that there are things that you'll want to know about the program. We'll go into more detail about that, so you can think about applying for the Schwarzman Scholars Program in the future. So the vision of the Schwarzman Scholars Program is to build a network of dynamic young leaders who throughout their careers can deepen the understanding between China and the rest of the world across many different professional fields. The program expands the leadership capacities of scholars by exposing them to different leadership styles from around the world and by expanding their intercultural and interpersonal skills. Those are the really important things that we're trying to do, the basis of what we're trying to do at the program. So it's based in an intensive 1-year global affairs master's at Tsinghua University, which everybody here knows about. And the program offers a flexible and broad curriculum that touches on business and politics and science and academic international affairs. And scholars get in this academic enterprise a better knowledge about how China interacts with the rest of the world. The program also makes a really serious investment in interpersonal experiential learning, with high-level trips around the country, with senior-level mentors, with internships in major offices in Beijing. These experiences are meant to expand the scholars' interpersonal and cultural skills, and to deepen their understanding of leaders and leadership in China itself. The strength of the program really is our alumni network. It's really the people They are key to the long-term vision of the Schwarzman Scholars Program. So our scholars, our alumni, our faculty, they really are key. This is a very people-intensive organization. It's a really people-intensive vision. And the program delivers high-level alumni programming at no cost on themes of leadership, China, and global affairs. Alumni programming continues to expand the skills and networks needed for scholars to serve as a bridge between China and the rest of the world. The long-term vision of Schwarzman Scholars is people-to-people connections across borders for the purpose of creating a more prosperous, peaceful, and more connected globe. So let's talk about let's talk a little bit about the eligibility requirements for Schwarzman Scholars. They're actually pretty easy. You have to have an undergraduate degree from an accredited university. You have to be between the ages of 18 and 28, so up to the day before your 29th birthday. And you have to have English proficiency because the program is taught in English. Let's talk a little bit about the timeline. So we have two processes. We have the process for citizens of China, and we have a process for global citizens. So we've just finished the selection process for the 9th cohort of Schwarzman Scholars for our Chinese citizens. So they will be announced later this year, but they've already been chosen and they will be notified in the next few weeks. The U.S. global applicant, so if you are a non-citizen of China, you would apply through the U.S. Global Portal, and that application opened in April and it closes September 19th of this year. So if somebody did want to apply for Schwarzman Scholars this year, you are still able, you do still have the ability to apply to Schwarzman Scholars this year. So think about it and be in touch with one of us. We could talk you through the process of applying this year if you'd like to apply through the global process. The application, like I said, closes on September 19th. Selection will take place in October and November of 2023 this year, and we will announce the class in December of 2023 this year, and classes will begin August 2024 for the 9th cohort of Schwarzman Scholars. For folks who are Chinese passport holders, you would want to apply to the next cohort, which that application would open in January of 2024, and that class would start in August of 2025. So I'm just kind of keep those two processes in your head. The application is submitted online. The entire application process is online, and this is what we need you to submit with your Schwarzman Scholars application. You would need to have a resume or curriculum vitae. You would want to have 2 letters of recommendation at minimum. We would need your full transcript, so every transcript that you have ever had from any academic institution, your full academic record with English translations where that is applicable. We have 2 essays we would need you to complete. There's a leadership essay where you talk about your vision, your leadership, your view of leadership, how you have exercised leadership in the past, and let us know how you do leadership. And how do most people do that? Most people do that by telling us a story of when they have led in the past. So that's the most likely way to do it, and it's probably the best way to do it, because everybody reading your application is like, we're human beings, and they're human beings that really get hooked into a story. So telling us a story about when you've exercised leadership and what you learned from that, and what you want to take forward as a leader in the future is probably the best way to do that. The other essay is a statement of purpose, where you talk more broadly about what you want to do with your life and what you want to do with your career, and filter that through the lens of how being a Schwarzman Scholar would help to advance what you want to do broadly in your career. And a lot of people look at the Schwarzman Scholars Program and they think, oh, I have to be a political science major, or I have to care only about international affairs. And that's not true. Like we have lots of folks who are political science majors. We have lots of folks who are international affairs, but we also have a lot of folks from business. We have a lot of folks who are engineers. We have a lot of doctors who come through the program. Because no matter what career someone's going to do in the future, it will touch China. No matter what you want to do in the future, no matter where you want to do it, China will influence what you're doing. So that's why we want to have a very broad cohort of scholars who are touching every different discipline, because we want our network to be strong and we want it to be broad, And we want to make sure that no matter what somebody is doing, they understand how China will relate to that in the future. So no matter what you want to do, we're open to you coming to Schwarzman Scholars and sharing what you want to do as a leader in the future with our community and with our cohort. So the traits that somebody would need to have, what we're looking for when we're evaluating applications for Schwarzman Scholars, there are 3 key traits. We're looking for demonstrated leadership, so somebody who, when they submit the application, already has shown leadership at a very young age. We're looking for somebody with character, and we're looking for somebody with intellect. So let's pull that apart a little bit, and so you can hear exactly what we're looking for with each one of those traits. So with demonstrated leadership, we're looking for a strong sense of determination and drive. We're looking for energy and adaptability to take initiative and to make change happen. And somebody who has already made change happen and can talk to us about that in an essay, in an interview. And we want the ability to conceptualize, articulate, and implement effective, practical approaches to existing and emerging opportunities and challenges. So again, like that's how you should think about demonstrated leadership. You have done something, like you have seen a problem and you've taken action to help solve that problem. Maybe you didn't necessarily actually solve the problem, but you took action, people followed you, and you learned from that, and you can communicate that with people like Deepan and I, who usually serve on committees together, and we'll ask you lots of questions about it. So then character. So when we're thinking about character for somebody who is applying for Schwarzman Scholars, we're looking for somebody who has values and a commitment to an issue larger than herself or himself that connects to their leadership vision. This person would have the interpersonal skills to successfully inspire and work with people from different backgrounds and people who have different perspectives. This person would have the ability to take responsibility for failure. Failure is okay, as long as you understand it, you can talk about it, and you learn from it. Failure is okay. We understand that, and we want you to understand that as a Schwarzman Scholar. And we want you to take responsibility instead of blaming others for failures and taking sole credit for group achievements. Those are the types of things we're looking for when we're thinking about character. And also in character, we're looking for somebody who has the character to survive and thrive in a cross-cultural environment, because we do have cohorts that are representative often of 30 or more countries. So we want somebody who's going to thrive in that environment and be able to bring something to that conversation and to help connect the cohort together. And then intellect. A lot of folks think about intellect, they think, oh, they mean, what is my GPA? And we do care about what your GPA is, but it's not the only thing that we're looking for. We have lots of folks who have really, really, really strong transcripts and strong GPAs every year that we don't admit. Because they don't have the full breadth of what we're thinking about when we're thinking about intellect, because we think about it pretty broadly. We want to see significant academic achievements in one or more fields. We want the ability to analyze the world and design effective, practical, again, practical is a really important word for us, solutions to real world problems. And we want somebody who's got the intellectual acuity and ability to work with others to address real world problems and challenges. So think about that as EQ. We're looking for emotional intelligence in addition to academic intelligence. So somebody who understands how to interact with the world, and they know, and they can feel, they can understand how to make change with somebody that they don't disagree with, because they care about understanding and interacting and trying to figure out what is this other person thinking and how can I help to meet their needs while they're helping to meet my needs of making our global change. Interviews. So let's talk a little bit about interviews. So our interviews are rigorous, but we don't want our interviews to be scary. So everybody who's selected for an interview with Schwarzman Scholars, they interview before a panel of about 4 to 6 leaders in their field. So people who are academic leaders, people who are business leaders, people who are media leaders, people who are ambassadors to countries, people who've been military leaders. You'll interview with about 4 or 5 people who have led pretty significantly in their field. And a lot of our applicants our interviewees are really nervous about that. They're nervous about interviewing in front of such really important folks. And what we want you to know is you don't need to be nervous about that. Because we, the people who are on the other side of that, we've read your applications, we've selected you to come and do an interview, and we're excited to meet you. We're as excited to meet you as you are to meet us. You're there because we want to have a conversation.
Interviewers nervous.
Yeah, it's all right, interviewers, we're nervous too. So we've selected you. We want you to come and we want to have a conversation with you about your experiences. We're excited about what we've read. So we want to talk to the person behind that. So don't be nervous. Be excited about it because we're as excited about this. We're as excited about meeting you as you would be to be selected for the program. So we'll pause now and we'll stop talking at you, and then we'll answer some of your questions that you might have about the Schwarzman Scholars Program. And one thing that Dean Pan and I talked about yesterday, we've had second generation Tsinghua students from in every cohort.
Every cohort. You see?
Every cohort.
Mr. Ma's daughter.
That's right.
Cohort, right?
That's right.
Right here.
So you're a prime audience for us, and we want to answer any questions that you might have because we're hoping that we're going to see a lot of applications from people who are sitting in front of us today.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. Yeah, and you see the leadership, and Cordell mentioned many times the leadership. It's a leadership program, and you know what's the leadership? Leadership is if there is a 1% opportunity, you make 100% effort.
Yes.
That's the leadership. Our admission rate even is a little bit lower than Harvard and Yale, but you can try that. And if you try that, you will be successful, right? So try it. So that's the leadership. So that's.
I'm going to make one point because Dean Pan is right. So applying for the program, I think applying for the program might be the most important thing that you do because while you're doing this application process, you have to think about who you are and what you want to do with your future and who you are as a leader. And you have to be able to articulate that. So whether you get the scholarship or not, no matter what you apply for later, no matter what job you're interviewing for, no matter what graduate school you're interviewing for, you will understand yourself and who you are and how to be able to articulate that. And exactly. That is the most important thing that happens with this program is that you learn more about who you are, you think about who you are, and then you articulate. You are able to articulate that in a way that tends to be pretty impressive to people who are interviewers.
Exactly. Yeah. Any questions? The leadership leader has a question.
Oh, we got one.
I guess I have a question for non-American, and thank you. I just have a question. If the applicant is not American or Chinese, I've heard you said that you have like over 30 countries represented. Is there a different website that they apply to, or it's all the same?
No, so there are two application portals. There's an application portal for folks who are Chinese citizens, and there's an application portal for those who are U.S. citizens. So the breakdown of our classes are 20% are Chinese passport holders, 40% are U.S. passport holders, and the other 40% are passport holders from countries around the world. And that's how we get to cohorts that have between 30 and 40 different countries represented in each cohort.
Yeah.
That was a great question, thank you.
You know the website, right?
I can figure it.
You know figure out Schwarzman College or Schwarzman
That's right.
program.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you type that into Google, we're the first thing that comes up. We made sure of that.
Thank you.
A little bit of top over the rose scholar, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. More?
Please.
It's a lady.
Oh, okay, please.
So what's your typical cohort size, and then also how many applications are you receiving?
Absolutely great question. So our cohort size, right now our cohorts are about 150 in size. So you see that turns out to about 30 Chinese scholars, 60 U.S. scholars, and 60 scholars from the rest of the world. And we tend to get somewhere between 3,000 and 3,500 applications. That's where we've been historically in any given year.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. Okay, go ahead.
How does the funding work for scholars? And like, is there a stipend, or how is that?
Fabulous question. So this is a fully funded master's degree that you get at Tsinghua. So you do not have to pay for much of the program. We take care of living expenses, we take care of tuition, food, yeah, do not worry about that. Correct, and travels. And you also do have a stipend. You get, I mean, for the night cohort, you get a $5,500 stipend that you can use as you like, basically to travel around the country and to experience Beijing and to experience China. We don't want funding to be a barrier to anybody being able to take part in any part of it. So we erase that.
You will save a lot of money for your parents.
That's right.
I like that.
Can you talk a little bit about what graduates of the program have gone on to do after and areas of work that they've gone into?
David, you want to take that? Or? Okay. So because we're trying to attract scholars from all different fields, we're sending scholars out all over the world to do all different types of things. So we have a lot of folks who leave and directly go into business. We have some folks who leave and go into entrepreneurship. We have a lot of folks who go and work in government. We have folks who are teachers, professors who are going on to get other degrees. We have a lot of folks who leave and they will go on to get an MBA immediately after Schwarzman. They'll go on to get a law degree. We have a lot of folks who are in the middle of, we have a strong number of folks who are in the middle of MDs, who take time off, come to Beijing for a year and then go back and continue their master's program. So we do have a careers office at Schwarzman that assists students who are looking to decide, what do I want to do with my career after Schwarzman? So we have a team that starts those conversations before you get there. So a cohort would come to Beijing in August for orientation. The conversations with the careers team would start in January or February of the year before, so that you can work on that process before you come for your classes, so you're not rushed if you're doing a job search, you're not rushed in your job search while you're at Schwarzman College.
It's a very good future question.
Yeah, that's a great sign. We like that. We like future-oriented folks.
Okay.
Great question.
Okay, so we stop here, and any question you ask both of us, and right after this session. And thank you, Helen. And our Chuck is also our mentor, and any questions you can ask him too.
Yes.
Thank you.
Please don't hesitate to ask us questions. We have these jobs because we love talking to you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pearl and Mr. Pan. So right now we're going to go into a break. You guys can go out, have a drink, rest a bit. We're going to come back for roughly 15 minutes. I know it's a very tight time. If you need more time, don't be afraid, but we're going to keep on going the sessions at around 3:35. So, go have a rest now. Thank you so much.